Gammamon's Megaform and Angoramon's Megaforms are officially here, kind of, sort of, in the sense that Gammamon's primary Mega Seriousmon has been shown off in V-Jump magazine, not just in pixel art, and Angoramon's Mega had its name as well as a general shape and theme revealed via the new Angoramon dim card. There's also 2 new looks at alternative Megas for Gammamon, courtesy of the Vital Bracelet B memory. Is our boy Gammamon getting split Megas in the anime the same way he has split champions, or will these be alt Megas that are exclusive to things like the VB, the card game, and future video games? This week we're talking Digimon Ghost Game episode 53, of course, but before we do that, we're taking a pit stop to talk about this Mega artwork. If you don't want to look at them or talk about them, I totally get it. I have timestamps in the video so you can skip right over those. This video is sponsored by Bai, one of the best ways for people outside of Japan like myself to get Digimon merch like the Vital Bracelet, but more on them later. We'll cover the Mega news in order of image quality, starting with the character we have the most detail for. We'd previously gotten a look at Gammamon's forthcoming Mega and its name, Seriousmon, but it was that Vital Bracelet pixel art only. Now, courtesy of V-Jump, we have a great in-color look at Seriousmon in that classic Digimon card game style. This could end up being his Digimon Encyclopedia entry asset, but that's still not confirmed. Here is Seriousmon shaping up to be a classic sort of dragon Dino Knight Mega in the style of Greymon, Ulforce Vidramon, Dukemon / Gallantmon. Very regal, a bit angelic almost, the most humanized we've seen a Gammamon form yet, while still maintaining that Ceratopsian dino element in the helmet. Just like I said last time, I'm seeing the purple lines on the helmet and the blue cape and thinking Seriousmon has elements of Gammamon in that color palette, almost as if this Mega is the combination or fusion of the vaccine form that is Kano Weissmon and the virus Digimon Gammamon. Time will tell if Ghost Game has the writing chops to tell a satisfying story that successfully makes Seriousmon's debut feel earned, but it feels to me that at least the artist who had designed this Mega had perhaps intended it to be a union of Kano and Gulis. Thank you, by the way, to With the Will for collecting these images and informations. They're one of the best resources for breaking news in the Digimon community, so definitely put that site on your radar if you don't already visit or if you don't follow them on social media. With the Will. Next, let's talk 2 more mysterious Gammamon Megas that appeared on the pages of V-Jump. Unfortunately, they are not full hand-drawn key art like the new Seriousmon asset, but instead pixel art for the new Gammamon B memory. There's ARCTURUSMON and PROXIMAMON. If it isn't obvious already, they follow the constellation naming convention of Gammamon's line thus far, Proxima, of course, being named after the nearest known star in relation to Earth's sun. ARCTURUSMON definitely looks like an evolution for Gulis Gammamon, like a monster even stronger than Regulusmon. It's tough to judge from this very small pixel art, but it's clear that whereas Regulusmon was kind of dragon-like and similar to Kano, this monster resembles Seriousmon but with these kind of drill arms. The most mysterious form yet though is easily PROXIMAMON because the small pixel art is quite messy. It's almost looking like Arceus from Pokemon with some Giratina on top, but I could be completely seeing it wrong. Importantly though, on the right side of the image in katakana it says Jogress, which is the Japanese term for fusion in Digimon. Many have pointed out that it appears to be 2-headed. Could that second head possibly be, I don't know, Ryudamon's evolution line fused with Gammamon's? It's obviously way too early to speculate, but that is definitely Jogress in katakana right there on the right side of the image. So it's definitely Gammamon fusing or DNA digivolving with somebody. The question is who? And the other question is, will this show up in the anime or just be a card game and VB exclusive thing? Finally, a new Angoramon B memory dim was revealed, and with it we got a very blurry look at the official Mega and its name. It's even harder to describe this one, but it looks like an armored knight of some kind that maintains Angoramon's tail and ears. Its name is something like Dilbitmon. The katakana is like Dedibitomon. It's kind of anyone's guess how they'll choose to pronounce this or spell it in English. With the Will is speculating that it's supposed to potentially be like Drillbit. His ears here are especially pointed. Maybe he has some kind of spinning drill attack. Who knows? Very low quality pixel art for the time being, but I thought you should know. Still, zero information on a Jellymon Mega, but now we know about 3 Gammamon Megas and what appears to be Angoramon's only main Mega. The other Megas on the Angoramon B memory are of existing Digimon, so it's very unlikely that these are official alt Megas, like in the anime sense. So now that we've covered all that, let me know what you think about the Megas in the comments. Who's your favorite Gammamon Mega? Who do you think Gammamon fuses with? And what are your thoughts on this very early look at Angoramon's Mega? So it's almost time to talk about episode 53, but before that, the holidays are almost here, and maybe you want to buy some Digimon merch, like the VB or plushies for a special someone in your life, or maybe for yourself, a little bit of self-love. Let me tell you about one of the best ways to buy anime merch from Japan with today's sponsor, Bai. Bai is this online proxy service that lets you buy things directly from Japan through them, and they ship it to you wherever you are in the world. They're the original sponsor of this channel. They reached out almost exactly a year ago, and I'm so glad they did because I've used them for anime merch like the Vital Bracelet dim cards. Through Bai, you can shop on Japanese storefronts like Rakuten, Mercari, Amazon JP, just see a ton of games and exclusive merchandise. You buy whatever you want, and Bai will handle getting it shipped to you. No need for a Japanese address, no need to understand Japanese. They'll take care of it. If you sign up to Bai with the link in this video's description, you'll get a 2,000 yen coupon for your first order. Once again, head to the link in my description for the 2,000 3,000 yen coupon. Thanks again for sponsoring the video. Bye. Episode 53, The King of Knowledge. Kiyoshiro visits a shrine in Kyoto on a school trip. From then, someone starts to come pick Kiyoshiro up at night and challenges his knowledge. He then slowly starts forgetting things he should know. The winner steals one piece of knowledge from the loser, who will end up losing it forever. That's the condition of these challenges that Kiyoshiro keeps submitting to every night. The visuals of these little Mind Palace battles are really creative and fun, a nice break from previous episodes' art styles as we're doing something new with the setting. We've not been in a place like this before, so I really enjoyed seeing what they came up with visually. Sure enough, after winning the first night's game, Kyo had new knowledge in his day job that he had no idea how or where he acquired. The first indication that Kyo lost a game is when he forgets Riku Fukatsu. I found this funny because I too forgot that we had already met Riku when he was last in the Macrockmon episode. Now me and Kyo have that in common, forgetting that we already met Riku. This episode has a bit of the dangers of gambling situation with the way that Kiyoshiro is desperate for a win and keeps going back, losing more and more, hoping for one big win. It's kind of a cool way to tell a gambling story with teenage characters. He forgets both Angoramon and Ruli as a consequence of losing one of those nighttime trivia battles, only really recognizing Hito until he eventually forgets him too and everyone else in the dorm, and Jellymon too. The dormmates would be forgiven for believing he's having some kind of mental breakdown over a year into knowing them, and he's insisting they're all strangers. This whole time he's been talking to a book, but eventually it exposes itself, reveals itself to be Balmon, an intelligent Digimon known as the Worshipper of Knowledge. He looks terrific in Ghost Game. Last time I remember thinking that a returning Digimon got the creepified Ghost Game treatment was when Piedmon made his Ghost Game debut. Balmon is a great fit for this darker series. The team is able to best him by challenging Balmon to answer questions about modern life in Tokyo, which I thought was fun. He's book smart basically, but not street smart. Ruli talks about taking food pics of restaurants for social media. He has no idea about any of that. Hito talks about camping tips, and Balmon has no experience with either of those things. I know that this is a Kyo and Jellymon episode, but I do also need to point out how Gammamon and Angoramon both got their Warp Shinka abilities in the last two episodes, and what do when it's time to fight Balmon? In this episode, they evolve to Champion for some reason. Eventually, they win enough trivia that Kyo's knowledge is returned, causing him to remember his friends and to remember Jellymon, which allows them to fight together and to get their Warp evolution unlocked, their Warp Shinka. There were some beautiful shots throughout this episode, including after Balmon is bested. It's a shot of Kyo and Tedismon looking out into a deep blue ocean with the wind blowing through their hair. It's extremely pretty, so kudos there. The last twist of the episode is that the two human-looking spirits that followed Balmon and had been escorting Kiyoshiro to those nightly knowledge battles, they were not Digimon, but in fact spirits. It's the first time in a while we've wrestled with the concept. There was episode 38 where Daomon was a Digimon actually possessed by human spirits. That was a neat one. There was also episode 35 with the story of the maiden in that village being sacrificed to stop the town monster for hundreds of years. So that was certainly interesting in episode 53 here, knowing that there was a Digimon aided by deceased human spirits. All in all, I had a feeling I knew what this episode was going to be. Our Kiyoshiro gets Warp Shinka episode, and it was more or less that. I will say I kind of liked it the most out of the Hito, Ruli, and Kyo's Warp Shinka unlock episodes. It was better than 51 and 52 for me in terms of the creative visuals when it came time for those knowledge battles. It could have also just been that all of the disappointment for what the new Digivice Dual V is and is not was already taken care of in episodes 51 and 52. Like, it broke my heart there. So by episode 53, I was no longer in denial or anger, or if I had just hit acceptance. Still no signs of the Megas though, even though we are now seeing them in V-Jump magazine and the Vital Bracelet B dim cards that are officially out now in Japan. Knowing Ghost Game, they're more likely than not just going to turn on the Megas one week, somewhat out of nowhere, rather than having a build up and foreshadowing across multiple episodes. But of course, when something major happens, you'll hear about it here, so definitely subscribe to the Digino if you haven't already. 1 month left in the year. Let's finish out 2022 talking Digimon every Sunday. Thanks for watching, hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.